Summertime means travel time. Today, you guys get a sneak peek inside my travel diary. So stay with me. Hi everyone, I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. So glad you could join me today. Today we are going to take a peek into a travel journal that I am working on for our travels this summer. Now this particular travel journal happens to be a paper travel journal that has some beautiful pictures and things in it. It's not a notebook that I've ever used. I just use it for inspiration. And I think it's a beautiful notebook, but you know me, I'm going digital, all digital this year. And so I wanted to create my own travel notebook, of course, in OneNote. So that's what I would like to show you today. As many of you know, my daughter has been living in England for the last 18 months and going to school there, and she is finishing up her studies and graduating and heading back home. So my husband and I are taking a trip to help her pack up her apartment, get things settled, be there for her birthday and her graduation. And so the travel plans are going to be flexible around those events, but I just wanted to have a way to document all of that. So in my trusty OneNote, I got busy thinking very early on about what I would like some of those travel pages to look like, things that I wanted to collect and that kind of thing, taking inspirations from paper books that I found around. And I just kind of like the old world look of some of these pages here, listing out, 3 things that you saw today, what's your itinerary for today, and then just having some blank space to, fill in information that you experienced while you were there. So I started playing in OneNote like I like to do. And I started with something that was very much like I was using so let me show you. Let's just look at the computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here we are. In the very beginning, I started thinking about some things. I didn't want just lots and lots of big space. I wanted to have some, some kind of focus boxes or bullet items or something like that that would help me keep track of some of the things that we did on the trip. So on this page, you see here on the right hand side, I kind of created like a travel diary, foods that I liked with 3 boxes, for each meal of the day, places I visited, and then memories that I made down here at the bottom, the high point of the day and the biggest challenge of the day. And then I was going to leave this side of the notebook open for pictures or ramblings or quotes or ephemera or whatever I happened to find that I wanted to put there. And I kind of liked this, the way that it looked. All of these shapes and things are things that I drew in, but I realized when I went to use this on my iPad that it wouldn't be as easy to use as using it on my laptop. So I wasn't taking my laptop with me on the trip, so that kind of let this one out. So the second iteration of my travel journal was this one, which is a background from a freebie notebook from DCP Digitals. And the one thing that I liked about it is kind of this daily format. Because it is a 31-day notebook, there's this daily format. And you can see here on the left hand side, there's a place for today and the date, and then just some blank lines that I thought, okay, that will work really well for me to, jot down and put pictures on and all that kind of stuff. And then over here, there was a place that had these 3 bullet items. And I thought, well, that's great. That could be, the 3 places that I visited or something like that, the itinerary for the day. So I put this cute little sticker up there. Then there's my food log to help me remember what we ate on the experience. And then, like if I was going somewhere like, if we were going to visit one of the castles and we wanted to take, a picnic lunch or something like that, I wanted to have a place to jot down, what to bring or, directions to a place, take this bus, take that train, all that kind of stuff. And then just a place down here, like a, postcard from, maybe I could write a little something about this is what happened today. Overall, I like this, and I'm going to keep this as a travel itinerary for the future. But because we were going to Stratford Upon Avon and we were thinking about all things Shakespeare, because that's what my daughter's been studying over there, I thought this looked a little too new age or modern. And so I decided I wanted something a little bit more rustic or old world. So I came up with this travel page template, which you can see I use some of the same stickers. This is just an image that I grabbed, and then I put a double column table right here. And I drew a blue line down the middle, and I just really wanted this to kind of focus as a timeline throughout the day. I didn't want it timed out for me. I just wanted, from the morning to the evening, a place for me to write little things for what we had done. So I put the little sun icon at the top and the little moon to represent the evening. I also wanted to remember to write down the date in the journal, because I have been known to forget that before, the location of where we were, and what the weather was like. Then I found these cute stickers from a shop called Digitally Wild on Etsy, and I will link her information in the description below, so you can check her out if you would like to. But Digitally Wild had these travel stickers, and these are the 3 that I picked just to kind of set up a base for my travel journal. So I liked the official Travelogue, and I liked the itinerary, but I added notes to the top. So it says notes and itinerary. And then the wow moment, was just a place to remind me to put pictures. Sometimes I would leave this sticker in there, and sometimes I took it out, or I just covered it up. So anyway, this became my template that I used for every page in my travel journal. My thought is that if I were using my iPad and my Apple Pencil, that this columned table here would give me lines to write on without putting lines all over the entire page, which I thought was good. And then if I wanted to, I could come back and delete that table and get rid of those lines. And there are a page or 2 where I did that, so I'll show you those as we go through. This space over here, I just thought was great for putting pictures and ephemera and all that kind of stuff in there. So I just wanted to leave that blank. And as it turns out, I really love the way that this turned out. Let me show you a couple of the pages. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with every page of every day of our trip, but I just want to show you how some of it turned out, because who knows, you may be taking a trip and you may be thinking, well, what's a good way that I could set up my journal for that as well? You could do this in a paper journal. You could do it on a digital journal. It doesn't matter. But one of the other things about putting the tables in here was that if I were using my phone, which does not have a stylus or anything to write with, then I could simply go into the table and type the information that I wanted to remember as well. So having the table in there gave me both options: to use my phone for typing and to also use my iPad for typing, or using the Apple Pencil as I saw fit throughout the day. Okay, so enough about the planning of the page. Let's get in and see how some of the pretty stuff actually worked. All right, so let's start with the first day. And I think I published a couple of these pages up on my Instagram feed. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can look for me there at Crystal Clear Life 21. And if you'd like to follow me there, that would be great. I also have a Facebook page, again, Crystal Clear Life 21, if you'd like to check that out. But here's the first day. So you see up at the top, I have, the day's date, and we were going from DC to Dublin, to Birmingham in the UK, and then finally on to Stratford. And it was sunny and 25 degrees hot. Remember, in the UK, they follow Celsius. And so I was trying to get myself used to those numbers. And you see here, I just started at the beginning, 6:15. We arrived at Dublin Airport, and I just made little tick marks throughout the day to put in the times that I wanted to designate along my timeline down the middle. Okay, so you see here, I could just, go back and forth with things that I wanted to record all the way down. And I also had a place for photographs here. Here's my husband and I at the airport waiting for the first flight to take off. Anxious, as usual, just waiting to hopefully the flight's on time and everything works well. Then when we got to Stratford, finally we were able to go out and take a walk along the river and see some of the beautiful things that were there. And again, I can use my phone to type things in, or my keyboard on my Apple iPad to type things in as well. So again, this is a mixed page of using all those elements together. The phone photographs that I have are what I was able to pull in here simply by going up to the insert tab on the phone and inserting a picture. You can choose the picture from the photographs that you've taken and simply insert them into OneNote. They come in as graphics. So for example, this picture here of Trinity Church comes in as a graphic, and then you can, make it bigger or smaller. See, there's that wow moment. I left that sticker there, and I just made my picture actually a little bit bigger to cover it up. All right, let's move on to the next day. Here you see July 11th, and we were in Stratford. It was 84 and sunny and hot. And, we just kind of went through the day. Slept late, had a little jet lag. My daughter was just funny. She's like, you guys were sleeping well, so I just let you sleep. But we went through the town. This is the restaurant that my daughter worked in for a while. So we had lunch there. We met her boyfriend at the time and went on to visit Horace and the butterfly garden and some other wonderful things there in Stratford. This one looks like I pretty much just used my Apple Pencil and then brought in some pictures from my phone, and so that worked pretty well. Moving on, the big day, graduation day for my daughter. I didn't have a lot to say because I had so many pictures that I wanted to put on this page, and that's absolutely fine. We also took advantage of the fact that we were in Birmingham again and went to the aquarium there to see sea otters, which are my daughter's favorite animal. So that was fun to do too. All right. And again, more pictures, more writing, kind of the timeline aspect. That's really great. This particular day, you see, I actually went in and added a few more captions underneath some of the pictures, just so that I could remember what some of them were during the downtime that we were having. I wanted to try to add as many details as possible. One of the cool things about this area of England is all the walking trails that are there. You can see down here in this corner, they have all these walking paths around that are just, a different place to go and explore every day. It was just so cool. And one of the walking trails is called the Greenway, and it is like, an 11-mile bike trip that you can take, or a walking trip that you can do. So we rented bikes one day and took a ride out through the countryside, and just seeing all the pretty things, all the sheep. There's lots of sheep out there, which was really cool. We also visited Trinity Church, which is the final resting place for William Shakespeare. And again, my daughter's been studying Shakespeare for years, so that's really what this trip was all about, was to kind of walk in his footsteps. And, this chained Bible that they have here, they actually said that, when Shakespeare attended church there and would be one of the people who would do some of the readings, that he might have actually, had this Bible on the podium that he was reading from. And in that time period, they would actually chain the Bible to the podium that it was on so that it didn't get stolen, which, because books were very rare back then. So I thought that was kind of cool. Now you'll see over here for some of my pages, I have asterisks beside them. And for me, as I'm going through and kind of cleaning up things now that I'm, home and back from my trip, the asterisks kind of tell me that there's still something I want to do to that page. Maybe it's pictures that I want to grab from my husband's phone, or maybe it's a video that I want to insert in there, or there may be other details that I want to include on that page. But the asterisk next to the title for me just kind of signifies that there's more work that I want to do here. So for example, on this page for July 17th, you see that I had my phone with me most of the time, and so I was simply using the table feature to type in some of the things that we did. I attended church at Trinity that morning, and then we packed a lunch and went to the Greenway again, where they were doing some horse racing. My husband had never seen horse races before, so that was kind of a fun way to spend the afternoon. But there are things that I want to include on this page from the remainder of the day. We went to a traditional roast at one of the local pubs, and I wanted to get a picture of us having dinner together. So I have saved some of these spaces down here for items like that. Okay, so that's what the asterisk means on my page things down here. All right, and then here again is a look at just a blank page that you can see, you know, how flexible it can be to create a Travelogue page like this. And I really have enjoyed using it. In fact, doing this daily Travelogue really has inspired me for the month of August to do a daily planner for the month of August. So I actually went ahead and filmed that plan with me. So it's up above. I'll link it. If you would like to check out that plan with me video, you can do that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you today how simple it can be to create a template for yourself that you can use over and over. Take inspiration from, other books that you find, or, inspiration from other videos that you see like mine, or other ones on YouTube or Pinterest, anything like that. And go ahead and take all of those ideas and let them meld around in your own mind and come up with something that works perfectly for you. And again, I bought these stickers, these Travelogue stickers from Digitally Wild, and I think they really fit with the notebook theme that I was looking for. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And really, that's it for me today. I just want to say, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. Until next time, okay, bye.